desperately want to be proud of my state. I know it doesn't make sense to be proud of the place you were born, something over which you have no control, but that's not the kind of pride I'm hoping for. I want to be proud of my state for doing something, for transcending our stereotypes, for accomplishing something great. I would like for our people to be able to work together to produce something noteworthy, so we can look back on it and say, what a marvelous thing we've done. Unfortunately, I'm frustrated in that hope. Mystical Forest is not an atypical Oklahoman. He mixes ignorance with anger in a way that stuns any thinking person. He's not alone. His way of thinking, or not thinking really, is rewarded here. I worry about how Oklahoma is viewed by those from the outside. To my shame, and sometimes honestly to my relief, I usually find that it isn't viewed at all. It is irrelevant. The Republicans pay it no mind because they know they won't lose it. The Democrats pay it no mind because they know they can't win it. We have produced no great statesmen, no great philosophers, and only a few artists of note. We're kind of like Texas, only smaller. We don't build things in large scale. And unless you get outside of the state and see the rest of the country, you forget how big the world really is. I suggested to a friend one time that we change Oklahoma's slogan to, Oklahoma, think small. When Oklahoma does find its way onto the national stage, it is usually for something bad. But we do have a couple accomplishments that some people consider good. We have college football. I don't really care about college football, but as I understand it, our university teams are generally pretty good. According to Rodgers and Hammerstein, we have singing cowboys. At one time, we were oil-rich, though we're not now. Our oil boom years left its imprint on our architecture and our culture. What else does anybody know about Oklahoma? The land rush, the Dust Bowl? My perspective on Oklahoma is a bit different from Mystical Forest's. He may represent the present majority here, but I know more about our history than he does. That history provides some gems from our past that shine through the stubborn traditionalism. To me, Oklahoma is Woody Guthrie, the Dust Bowl troubadour. Born in Okemah, he saw the suffering of poverty and the unfairness of the American economic system firsthand. He became the voice of the oppressed and the downtrodden. He had no patience for authority, which at the time was used to keep working men down. His great anthem, This Land is Your Land, carries the message that the land belongs to everyone, and the land is beautiful. But
as I went a-walking that ribbon of highway, and I saw above me that endless skyway, I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me.
But his songs that carry the most impact with me are the ones that describe Oklahoma in the Great Depression, as we struggled against poverty, drought, and dust.
On the 14th day of April of 1935, there struck the worst of dust storms that ever filled the sky. You could see that dust storm coming, the cloud looked death-like black, and through our mighty nation it left a dreadful track. From Oklahoma City to the Arizona line, Dakota and Nebraska to the lazy Rio Grande, it fell across our city like a curtain of black rolled down.
Woody Guthrie's people were those at the relief office. He would have had no tolerance for Mystical Forest's angry rants about welfare. To me, Oklahoma is Will Rogers, a movie cowboy and a social commentator. The line for which he was most famous, "I never met a man I didn't like," was actually regarding Leon Trotsky, who Rogers wished he could have met. "I bet you if I had met him and had a chat with him," Rogers said, "I would have found him a very interesting and human fellow, for I never yet met a man I didn't like." When you meet people, no matter what opinion you might have formed about them beforehand, why, after you meet and see their angle and their personality, why, you can see a lot of good in all of them. It's an attitude I try to embody, though it is difficult sometimes. To me, Oklahoma is chalk beer. To me, Oklahoma is the grapes of wrath. When John Steinbeck, a great American novelist, chose to write about the Great Depression, he wrote Our Story. The Jodes were sharecroppers from Salisaw, who were driven out by the drought and the onslaught of corporate farming. In the Jodes, you can see the qualities that are typical of Oklahomans: toughness, resilience, hard work, perseverance, and above all, compassion.
Wherever there's a fight so hungry people can eat, I'll be there. Wherever there's a cop beating up a guy, I'll be there. I'll be in the way guys yell when they're mad. I'll be in the way kids laugh when they're hungry and they know supper's ready. And when the people are eating the stuff they raise and living in the houses they build, I'll be there too.
To me, Oklahoma is Native Americans. They had no choice about coming here. They were transplanted here in a great forced migration called the Trail of Tears. It was one of the worst human rights abuses in my country's history. The Native American tribes were strong, though, and they passed their strength on to later generations. For the Cherokee tribe, the Trail of Tears ended at a place now called Tahlequah. In 1851, they founded the Cherokee National Female Seminary, which later became Northeastern State University, my school. Seminary Hall, which was built in 1887, still stands, and I was honored to attend classes there. This kind of environment produces the qualities you find in Oklahomans: resilience, toughness, hard work, determination, perseverance, and compassion. As with the Jodes, as with the rescue workers in Oklahoma City, compassion is always present. There are some qualities that don't appear on this list. None of the above imply intelligence, education, innovation, curiosity, tolerance, or sophistication. Those qualities are not absent here, but they have not been cultivated, not like the others. That will be the task of my generation. Oklahoma has so much undeveloped potential. Our task is to realize some of that potential. We must walk boldly into modernity and show those who lag behind that there is nothing to fear from change. Change, in fact, is long overdue. Sometimes I despair for my state. When a candidate for governor makes statements that are just a few syllables shy of separatist, when Mystical Forrest goes on one of his incoherent rants, there are times when I think of packing up and moving away. I've always had an affinity for New England. Maybe someday I will, but I would miss Oklahoma. It is a unique place. There is a warm and welcoming community here, and there is compassion. People are friendly, and they are strong. For better or worse, my children will grow up here. This gives me hope for Oklahoma. My daughters are smart, and they will be taught to be curious, tolerant, and courageous. If they can become leaders, then Oklahoma's future is promising.